Happy Father's Day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to what is undoubtedly going to be the most wildest recaps we've ever had here on the Wrestling Forum. My name is Michael Flecha, and we are still buzzing over what just happened just moments ago from the T Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada on the WWE Network. It was the WWE Money in the Bank 2016. I am along with ridiculously over Anthony Florio, the heart, the hardcore angel, the extreme angel, the twisted angel, Dee Woodson, the phenom Michael Bullock. I am Michael Fletcher, and oh my God, guys, we just witnessed. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna call it maybe the greatest Money in the Bank event of all time. I think they did it. I think they did it. Here's the reason why. We'll give it right now. I mean, what an unbelievable event this was. First off, we don't really talk about the pre-show fights, but I guess we'll do it anyway. Well, actually, no, the hell with it. I'm not doing it. Let's dive right in. The first thing we had was for the WWE Tag Team Championship. It was the New Day putting the title on the line against Big Cass and Enzo Amore, against the Vaudevillains, against Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, the club, the winners of the bout, and still the WWE Tag Team Champions, the New Day. They win it. Anthony Florio, you lead off, my friend. Let's go.
Oh, thank you very much indeed, Cerebral Viper Michael Flecha. And yes, hello friends, it is ridiculously over Anthony Florio here with you for this Money in the Bank recap edition of the Wrestling Forum. I have never been more delighted to be a part of a show than I am right now, and even more delighted to be here with you guys. I mean, before I get into this, I just want to make a statement clear and to the point. Our own hardcore pipe bomb, Derek Ferrera, made a very bold prediction the other day. He said that this night was going to go down as a Shakespearean drama night. Damn it to hell, it was that and then some. That is all there is to say about that. I mean, not just with what happened on this event tonight, but also in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, so Game 7 for the ages. And all I can say is the state of Ohio, their two biggest cities, are dancing up and down the aisles, if you know what I mean. And we'll get more into the second reason why in a little while. But, oh my goodness, what a night. And all I can say is, happy Father's Day, friends. And I hope all you dads out there had a very happy and blessed Father's Day. I know I did. I know we all did. But for those guys who are not fathers, like myself and Fletcher and Bullock here, this was our happy Father's Day. Let me tell you that right now. Oh, happy Father's Day indeed, boys. That's all there is to say. What a night. Oh, man, and this is a night we're soon not going to forget. I mean, Derek said it. Hey, Shakespearean drama? You damn right it was Shakespearean drama. And then some here tonight. But let's start it off. Not at all surprised New Day went over. I mean, I know I said for a while that that Anderson and Gallows were the favorites to win the tag team titles going in, but 12-minute bout, chaotic train wreck style opener. Given how much they played up New Day, closing in on the record for the longest tag title reign, I'll be surprised if they fail to break the record. There was a time when Michael Cole mentioned the length of the reign was the kiss of death for the champions, but it seems like they pull that out more frequently these days, and it was Kofi Kingston getting a well, he was an ultimate opportunist, if you will. Actually, no. Kingston and Big E did their finishing maneuver combination on Carl Anderson to take him out, but Aiden English was taken out by Anderson and Gallows with a magic killer, and Kingston picks up the scraps, covers Aiden English of the Vaudevillains to win it. 3 to 3 1/4 stars. I mean, this was, like I said, a chaotic train wreck style opener. I'm not at all surprised this bout delivered. I mean, this was one of the matches I was looking forward to going into this event, other than the triple main event, if you will. And I'm not at all surprised that New Day walked out of this still your WWE WWE World Tag Team Champions. Not at all surprised. What does this mean for the tag team division now? Well, only time will tell, but what a way to start off this Shakespearean drama late at night, my friends. That's all I can say about this. No better way to cap off your happy Father's Day than this. So, 3 to 3.25 stars. It's not the it's most certainly not the fight of the night, because let's just say the triple main event. Well, we're gonna have a lot to say about the triple main event if you know what I mean. So, but this is 3 to 3.25 stars. Very good opening match, and did this one deliver? Oh yes, it did, and then some. I can only say maybe fourth best fight of the night. That's all there is to say about it. That's how good the triple main event was. So with that being said, Phenom, Michael Bullock, if you've recovered enough, I mean, Shakespearean drama night. Derek Ferreira said it was going to be a Shakespearean drama night, and none left to say except in the immortal words of JBL. Damn it to hell it was.
Boy, you could definitely say that. And yes, hello friends. This is the Phenom Mike Bullock here for our Money in the Bank recap edition of the Wrestling Forum. Delighted to be here as always on this memorable night, to say the very least. I mean, with this, and then of course the Cleveland Cavaliers winning the NBA championship. I mean, you can see it right there via D.D. Woodson. Yes, what a night. As far as this match goes, I do agree. It's 3 to 3.25 stars. A good fatal four-way tag team match, and yeah, I mean, I know on our preview show, I did say that Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson were going to win it, but I mean, because they have been so over since coming to the WWE, but New Day, I mean, they were opportunists, a la the Rated R superstar Edge. I mean, who was known as the ultimate opportunist, and they took advantage of a situation, and they got the win, and now they live to see day number 302 as your, and Florio, if you want to repeat it with me, WWE World Tag Team Champions.
Why?
Man, I can't believe I'm getting into this too.
And why is that, Bullock? Why are they still your WWE World Tag Team Champions? You know why.
Oh yeah, because New Day rocks. New Day rocks.
Where's that trombone?
So there's really nothing more for me to say except 3 to 3.25 stars on the match. So Fletch, do I give this to you or do I give it to D.D. Woodson?
I'm taking it. I'm taking it because this was amazing. This is a way to start the pay-per-view off. It was definitely it was an amazing event. I saw it was an unbelievable it was one of those moments. It was a great way to start it. The action was action packed. The people were going absolutely crazy. The fight was amazing, to say the very least, and it proved to be the big payoff. New Day wins the match. They're still the WWE World Tag Team Champions, and I'm not going to do the whole spiel and everything else because we got so much to get into. So, yes, 3 to 3.25 stars is my rating for tonight for that match. D.D. Woodson, I heard you were taking down notes. Anything good about this Fatal 4-Way Tag Team title fight?
Yeah, I took down notes. I've got like 2 pages of notes just for this pay-per-view alone.
Oh, wow.
So, but I also was on the 411 Mania because I wanted to make sure I got the times down so that I could, rate it accurately. So, as far as this first match, I'm not completely surprised with the ending, but, it was a very good match. I really enjoyed the action. Very motivated. It was a good way to get you in, to get you focused on it, and not wanting to get your eyes off of the match at all. Because I know we kept running in the other room to watch the Cavaliers match, but this was one of the matches we didn't run in the other room to check on the basketball game, because it kept you motivated, kept you wanting to watch it. It was definitely a pay-per-view worthy match. I'm one of these people. I love watching the near falls that they do, but they definitely came out with their A game, and they just tore the whole thing up. I mean, it was just a great match. I love seeing all four guys in the ring and just letting all hell break loose with all of them, and that's just those things that just draw you in and want you to just see more and more and more, and that's definitely what it gave us. So I would definitely go with the 3 to 3.25 stars, because it was a very good match.
Okay, and we're going to go right into the next fight of the night, which was Baron Corbin going one-on-one with Dolph Ziggler. The winner of the bout was Baron Corbin, as he hit the end of days on Dolph Ziggler. Unofficial time, 12 minutes and 15 seconds. This is according to Jason Powell from ProWrestling.net. Michael Bullock, you lead off, my friend. Your thoughts about the match?
Boy, I'm very surprised that this match got a good amount of time here, and I'm gonna go somewhere between I'm gonna say 2.5. I'm gonna say 2.5 to 2.5 to maybe teetering on 3 stars. I mean, I was surprised. I mean, I was thinking this is gonna be another one of the worst fights of the night, but lo and behold, this turned out to be much better than what I expected, and I'll have to say it. This was the best match of their series, and like I already said, I think I really think this is going to be the blow off here, and hopefully these two can move on to bigger and better things, especially for Baron Corbin. So 2.5 to 3 stars is my rating. I mean, very surprised with the how long this match went. So, Fletch, I'm really surprised this match got a good amount of time here. Wouldn't you say so?
No, because you knew that the NBA was definitely gonna be competing, and WWE really needed to pull something out of the water, and they needed to go big, and I think they did. They delivered.
Up their game.
Yeah, I mean, it was at least 2.75 of a star. I'll give the fight. I think this was a very good match, and like Michael Bullock said, and I agree with you, this was the best match of the entire series. Hopefully, this is the blow off now, and Baron Corbin can get some new talent. But the whole night, I thought this was a very good, solid fight. I love the action that came out of it. And not only that, but it ended up being one of these battles where, it was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it gave us some good near falls. It looked like Ziggler was gonna get an opportunity to win the bout. But, I'm not mad at all. The end of days by Baron Corbin, he solidifies himself with a big victory here tonight. And once again, he gives us that sweet victory, to say the very least, and I'm very happy that this was a big victory for them, and there's really nothing more to say, guys. It was, without a doubt, the best fight of the series, and I'm so happy for Baron Corbin, because I think he finally broke through I believe, in WWE. I think it was a very good match. It was a very great way to end it. So hopefully, like I said, the what will happen next, who knows what it'll be. But I loved it. I thought it was amazing. Dee Woodson, what's your say about Corbin versus Ziggler? Were you able to see this fight?
Oh, I pretty much saw the whole show. I'll give it about 2.5 stars. I'm going to kind of keep this short and sweet here. Nice action, nice back and forth, but I am very much hoping that this is the last meeting because, I mean, they're getting a little repetitive with some of the matches, but I would definitely say this was probably the best in the series, and congratulations to the young guys that are pulling it off and showing that they belong up with the current talent. So that this was in my opinion, a very good match. So I'll toss it up.
Anthony, it's yours.
Yes. Good news. I just had a little Facebook comment chat with another one of our panel members, the hardcore queen herself, Lexi Calloway. She sends her love to everybody. So that she's going to be celebrating a birthday very soon, and I wanted to send her my best like I always do. So so Lexi, darling, if you're watching, the show's for you. That's all there is to say about that, and we hope to have you back with us very soon. We miss you here. So so with that being said, yeah, I agree. You know what? I'll even go as far as to say this was the sleeper fight of the night. I mean, honest to goodness. I mean, 12 minutes and 15 seconds. We didn't really have high hopes going into this bout, but yeah, I mean, 2.5 stars, absolutely. I mean, I'll say fifth best fight of the night. I mean, I thought the tag team, the tag team four-way was better, just a smidgen better, but this was very good for what it was. Most definitely the best fight of their series, the never-ending series, and now let's hope that it's on to bigger and better things for both men. And if I'm going to be real honest with you, they got it right. The right guy won. That's all there is to say about it. I mean, Baron Corbin, he surprises the hell out of all of us when he won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania 32, and ever since then, he really hadn't done much for us lately. But at least tonight, they finally did something for us, and they put him over. Great, that was the right thing to do. Hopefully, it's on to bigger and better things for him. As for Ziggler, well, who knows at this point? As he's still stuck in that mid-card purgatory, as I call it. So good for you, Lone Wolf. Bigger and better things, I hope, for that young man very soon. So 2.5 stars, sleeper fight of the night. MF, let's move on.
All right, next up we had was the tag team match. It was Dana Brooke and the WWE Women's Champion Charlotte. They went up against Becky Lynch and Natalya, the winners of the bout. In about 6 minutes and 55 seconds, it was Dana Brooke and the WWE Women's Champion Charlotte Flair, as there was a miscommunication as Charlotte got the natural selection on Natalya for the 1-2-3. But the most interesting thing, after the match was over, Natalya snapped and jumped Becky Lynch and beat her down. After the fight was over, could it just been maybe frustration boiling over? Could there be a heel turn? One thing's for sure, Vegas was definitely over for Becky Lynch and rooting for her when this was all said and done. Solid fight, good match. I can by default have to call it the second worst fight of the night because I think there was one actually worse than this. We'll get into that in a little bit. But I could give this about maybe 2 to 2.5 stars. I thought, it was good for what it was worth. It had good action. I wish for a little more action, but I thought the women did really good. And I don't think we can call this a whole home diva fight. I think for once, this was actually a lot better. This was actually a pay-per-view quality match. And I thought all the women looked really good in the ring. This looked like one of the best women's matches we've had in especially in the last few weeks because we've been slamming the women's division pretty hardcore lately. But I thought this was a good job. I thought the women definitely played a great role. And yeah, of course, you got to give Charlotte and Dana some momentum. Now the question becomes, what happens next? Maybe Becky might get a shot. Now there is rumors about Paige getting a shot at the belt because she did get a victory last Monday night on Monday Night Raw. So we'll wait and see what happens. Or will the draft rear its ugly head, and then who knows how that's going to throw the women's division into chaos. So we'll wait and see what happens. But I thought this was a solid 2.5 star fight. I got nothing bad to say about it. Dee Woodson, what says you? I know you've been very critical about the women's division. Did you like this fight tonight?
I will say we finally got a real ladies match. No, I agree, not a ho-hum divas match. It definitely was not an NA. This is just another one of these matches that proves my point that, hey, we need a ladies tag title division, because they definitely went out there and showed their stuff. No, it wasn't a perfect match. Yes, it was short. Yes, there was still a lot of cheating going on, and it still was not a very clean ending, but for just the fact that the girls did go out there and do what they needed to do, I will sit here and give them a hand, because they finally did get a match out there that we can actually be proud of. But I was kind of surprised. One of the announcers, I think, kind of said something that I've kind of harped on, so it makes me wonder, have they been listening to this show? Because I believe one of them said Charlotte can't win on her own. That sounds like something I've said before. So, and again tonight, yeah, it still, like I said, was kind of a cheap ending, but in the end, though, I still say it was a fairly good match, and I'll give it a couple of thumbs up on that, 2 stars. So, to you, Florio.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Dee Woodson has been very critical of the women's division. If you haven't been watching our wrestling forum shows over the last, I want to say, couple of months, ever since WrestleMania, after Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky stole the show that night. But yeah, I mean, this is one of the better women's matches we've seen in a while. I mean, not the best, but not the worst either. 2 to 2.25 stars is what I'm gonna give it for a rating. 6 minutes and 55 seconds, the time of the fall. Surprise outcome with Charlotte and Dana Brooke going over. I naturally thought Becky and Natty would have gone over because of the fact that the women's championship was not on the line. And yeah, I mean, we get ourselves a solid women's bout for the first time in a while. Hopefully it's the start. Hopefully this is a step in the right direction, because let's face it, this division really needs it right now. And my guess is Charlotte's going to move on to maybe Paige, because Paige went over on her on last Monday's Raw, the go-home show which was the go-home for this event, and in a short match. So I would assume Paige is probably now the #1 contender for the women's championship, and I can see that going down next month at Battleground in Washington, D.C. And then from there, maybe, just maybe, that long-rumored Charlotte-Sasha feud, which would go down at SummerSlam in Brooklyn. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But for this, it's 2 to 2.25 stars. And Michael Cole, you heard Michael Cole on commentary, said that he thinks that it was just frustration boiling over for Natty. And it's very possible. I mean, we just have to wait and see. Dee Woodson, she just typed in our chat box, could this lead to a Becky and Natty feud? Yeah, it's very possible. This is most certainly very possible. We're just going to have to wait and see how they decided to go about it, when we get to Raw tomorrow night in Phoenix, Arizona. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But for right now, it's 2 to 2.25 stars, and I hope they don't turn Natty heel because, Natty's just so loved by everybody. I mean, he's got a huge following, especially on Twitter. I mean, including me. Yeah, big shock there because of the fact that I'm the biggest Hart family mark of all of us. So I just hope they don't turn her heel. I mean, I don't like seeing her as a heel. I really don't. But then again, it's a great way to get Becky over as a babyface. I mean, that crowd was popping for Becky anyway. I don't know what that tells you. So I wouldn't mind seeing a Becky and Natty feud. I think that could end up being, that could actually be another step in the right direction for this mess of a women's division. I mean, they took a small step tonight, but hopefully, as we now get into the summer now, hopefully now over the next couple of months as we build to SummerSlam and Battleground and whatnot, hopefully this is where we can finally turn this mush of a women's division into the muscle that it was when this whole Revolution thing started a year ago. So 2 to 2.25 stars. Michael Bullock, Phenom, your thoughts on this women's matchup?
Two 2.25 stars is my rating on the match. I mean, yeah, the match was was fine for what it was, and yeah, this was definitely a step in the right direction in the women's division because, like you said, it's been terrible as of late. Yeah, I mean, good match here, and of course, surprised by the Natalya basically attacking Becky Lynch after the match. I mean, it could be basically just over frustration. I mean, I really hope they don't turn her heel either because she's loved and is popular with everybody, and she's even part of the community, as doing some things in the community as well. So, but who knows? But who knows? Maybe this heel turn will help her out and make her even better. But we'll wait and see what happens comes tomorrow night. But to me, in my opinion, I agree. I hope they don't turn her heel. I think it could be a big mistake, but like I said, you never know. Maybe it could be a good thing, but we'll find out come tomorrow night. But so now, basically, what's next for Charlotte? I mean, like you said, it could be a women's title matchup against Paige. Since we saw Paige go over on Charlotte, but of course, we all know what we want to see: Charlotte and Sasha Banks for the women's championship. But that probably won't come till August 21st at SummerSlam. Yes, I mean, they did show a little promo, for SummerSlam, and it will be on August 21st in Brooklyn. So just getting that out right now. So 2 to 2.25 stars is my rating. So Fletch, let's move on to our next matchup.
All right, and it was Sheamus going one-on-one with Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews gets the victory with a crucifix pin, 1, 2, 3 at 8 minutes and 40 seconds. All right, by default, this is the worst fight of the night, and I'm gonna give this about maybe 1.5 to 2 stars. I mean, the fight was alright. I mean, it was definitely, they went at it. It was a good back and forth fight. But the pin was actually coming out of nowhere. Sheamus looked like he got the white noise off the second rope, got the 1, 2, 3, but it was only a 2 count. Sheamus started complaining to the referee that should have been 3. The next thing you know, you get a crucifix pin, 1, 2, 3, and the fight is over. I mean, it was okay for what it's worth. I mean, it doesn't look like that's going to be the end of the rivalry. I'm sorry to say, it seems like to me that the rivalry is probably going to continue after what just happened, and we're just going to have to wait and see what happens now. But like I said, I could give this maybe 1.5 to 2, just for the effort, and really nothing bad about this fight. It's just that with all the remaining fights that were coming up, I mean, the next the next matches that we're going to get into, the triple main event, oh, by the way, is coming up. I mean, there was nothing wrong with any one of those matches. So, by default, worst fight of the night. D.D. Woodson, what do you say?
Well, for one, I say thank goodness that Cruz finally got a legitimate match. I mean, Sheamus is better competition than what Cruz has been fighting. It is, I would say, it is kind of one of the low marks of the night, though, because of everything that was going on. But I'll give it probably 1.5 stars for the effort. But it was a pretty good match. They did go out there and they did give what the fans wanted, which was the two of them actually duking it out. I do like the move that Sheamus did there at the end. That was a really cool high fly move. So I'll just pass it on.
Yeah, about 1.5 to 2. I definitely agree with that. Yeah, you could. Yeah, this was probably the worst fight of the night for me. I mean, 8 minutes and 40 seconds worth. I mean, this was one of the matches. I was 50-50 about this fight, honestly. But yeah, I mean, another surprise outcome. I mean, I was unsure if Apollo Crews was going to go over here. I mean, because you know how high they are on Sheamus, but yeah, Sheamus does the job here. Cruz wins it, and it was an okay match. It was a TV quality match. This is something like you would see on Main Event or Superstars, if I'm going to be real honest with you. So yeah, 1.5 to 2 stars. By default, worst fight of the night. I agree with Fletcher's sentiments. So Michael Bullock, your thoughts on Cruz and Sheamus?
Yeah, 1.5 to 2 stars is my rating, and yeah, it is the worst fight of the night. But I believe a certain someone here on the panel, I think, got this one right here. Florio, I don't know if you could concur with me on that.
Wait a minute, did Michael Bullock call
Michael
for
Bullock.
the Apollo Crews victory?
Yes, I did.
Michael, yes. I'll explain. I got to explain myself. I'll have to eat the humble pie here, and I don't mind it. Michael Bullock went on the record and it said that Apollo Crews was going to win this bout. I, on the other hand, disagreed with him and said that Sheamus was going to win the bout. So in my immortal words, yes, Michael Bullock, I believe you had this one.
Well done, Nomar. Good job, man.
Yeah, I mean, I just had this feeling. I mean, because they want to start pushing Apollo Crews, and they want to give him an actual win on a certain on a pay-per-view. So yeah, so well done, Apollo Crews gets his first win on pay-per-view. So who knows? Maybe this could lead to bigger and better things for Apollo Crews down the road. But we'll wait and see. But all in all, 1.5 to 2 stars is my rating. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, your thoughts?
Well, there's no more thoughts because I already covered it at the beginning.
Oh, you already did. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I do want to say something. I do have to apologize. I actually made a major mistake. I actually went out of turn. That should have been D.D. Woodson going first, but I don't think she'll mind that I took the heat on that one. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reset the table, and actually, this will pan out really good for a lot of people because coming up next is one of the triple main event matches. Anthony will get one. Michael Bullock gets a triple main event match. I will actually take the humble pie because I did do the Botchamania. I'll take the United States Heavyweight Championship fight. D.D. Woodson, get ready, my dear. You will have our main event of the evening for the first time ever. D.D. Woodson will have the main event of Money in the Bank, as a matter of fact, I think she'll be the first female to have a main event match ever in the history of the wrestling form, gentlemen. So, Dee Dee, get ready. You're going to have a magical moment for yourself. So, with that said, let's dive right in. The first of the triple main events. John Cena one-on-one with AJ Styles. The winner of the bout is AJ Styles. He beats John Cena and sends the IWC into a euphoric celebration. 24 minutes, 10 seconds. Anthony Florio, it is all yours.
Oh, this was on its way to being a 5-star classic, and then we get the rug pulled out from under us. Club afference. Yes, that's my newest. That's our newest word of the day. Club afference, and that's exactly what we had. Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, they stick their noses in where it did not belong after AJ signed that contract after that epic contract signing on Raw. I was gonna give it 5 stars, but because of this finish, I'm sorry, I cannot in good conscience do that. 4.5 to 4 3/4 of a star. That's my rating for this match. And I can honestly say, I was going to say fight of the night, but no. This actually was the second best fight of the night. Shakespearean drama at a high. We waited 15 years for this. The face of the WWE, John Cena, against the guy who I consider the face of TNA, and the man who, in all honesty, put TNA on the map in the phenomenal AJ Styles. And did the match deliver? Oh, yes, it did. Did it live up to the hype? Oh, yes, it did. I mean, I said it had the best build of any feud I ever saw in just 3 short weeks. And this match delivered. This ain't going to be the first one, folks. This ain't going to be the only one. This is just the beginning. They haven't even scratched the surface yet. Can you say Battleground next month in our nation's capital? I can. And I fully expect John Cena to get the win back. And then it will lead, I say it will lead to a rubber match at the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam, on August 21st at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. So that's really all I can say about it. I mean, back and forth, near fall after near fall after near fall. If we didn't get that club appearance, it would have been 5 stars. Hands down, it would have been 5 stars. But because of, not just because of the club appearance, but also because of a certain ending, if you will, I can actually only give this the second best fight of the night. Go figure. 4.5 to 4 3/4 stars. That's all I can say about it. And I loved how JBL absolutely lost his mind at the end of that fight, saying that we deserve better and that, and saying that we got robbed of a classic finish. And that's exactly what I would have done if myself and Flecha and Bullock were doing our Michael Cole, JBL, and Byron Saxton commentary tonight. If the 3 of us were doing that, that's exactly what I would have done. We got robbed of an instant classic, but that club appearance. That doesn't go down, it's 5 easy. And fight of the night. But it's second best fight of the night, 4.5 to 4 3/4. But despite the club appearance, we got ourselves a match of the year candidate, my friends. That's all there is to say about that. Well done, John Cena. Well done, AJ Styles. Hate the club appearance, but who cares? The match, to me, the match was 5 stars, but I'm deducting 1/4 to 1/2 a star because of that club appearance. 4.5, 4 3/4. That's the correct rating for this bout as far as I'm concerned. Phenom, Michael Bullock, we talked about this in great detail on our preview last night. Did this match live up to the hype for you? Was this a 5-star match despite the club appearance?
Man, I mean, I hate to say it, but I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. I mean, why? Because of that club interference. I mean, I mean, this was on its way to being 5 stars without a shadow of a doubt, and then they pull the rug out from underneath us with this club interference. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, this was on its way to being a 5-star classic, and you had to pull this from us? I mean, that's the only thing I'm upset about. But other than that, it lived up to the hype. I mean, I mean, the build-up was good leading up to this match. I mean, and the match certainly didn't disappoint. I mean, it was back and forth, counter after counter. Yeah, I mean, everything was going so good until this club interference took away from it. So, but still, kudos to both John Cena and AJ Styles. Yeah, I see. I think we're definitely going to have another match between the two at Battleground, and then and then we'll see what happens. Like you said, we could have a rubber match at SummerSlam, but we'll see what happens. But 4.5 stars, and if we didn't have that damn club interference, this would have been 5 stars written all over it. So, Fletch, it's yours.
I agree, guys. It's at least 4.5 stars. Oh my God, it was right there for the taking, and then they went the TNA route. Why, WWE, of all times? Why did you have to go with the moronic, idiotic move? You basically had a 5-star classic in your hands, and you let it go right through the fingers, man. I mean, you can put all the puns on it. It was a horrific decision. I can't believe they did that. I cannot believe they mucked it on that. But you know, I guess at the end of the day, they wanna make Cena look strong. They gave AJ a great moment, so both men go out strong on this one. It kind of gives us a sour taste in the mouth, though, man. It's like eating a bad thing of Starburst or something. It just leaves a horrific taste in the mouth. 4.5 stars is my rating. This would have been fight of the night, fight of the year candidate, and they blew it. They blew it. Dee Dee Woodson, it's all yours, my dear.
I'll make it unanimous and say 4.5 stars. Yes, it lived up to the hype. No, it can't be 5 stars because of the ending that they just cheapened the victory for AJ. This was definitely a match everybody was expecting to be the biggest match of the night. Both men came out. They brought their A game. They gave it 110%, and they left it all in the ring just to give the fans what they wanted. Even before the match started, you had the chanting of "Let's go, Cena" and AJ Styles. Both men really fired up. Um, Lots of action, lots of near pinfalls, especially kicking out of each other's finishers. At one point, I did start to wonder whether I was watching a boxing match or a wrestling match because of the jabs to the face from AJ. But you basically have a brawler versus an aerial person going in the ring. You never know what you're going to get. AJ definitely kept shaking it up tonight by changing his game plan several times throughout the whole match. But they definitely showed their experience and why both men have been in the business as long as they have, why they both have had so many titles on each one of them. I would definitely say it was an awesome match, but yeah, I think just that ending, I think, is the only thing that you can really say, just cheapen the match at the end. Whether AJ knew that the club came out at the end or not, I guess we'll find out tomorrow night. But I will have to say I did like that modified power bomb that AJ did when Cena was jumping across the ring. I mean, that was a pretty awesome move right there. But yeah, it was definitely a dream match that we all wanted to see, but it just was not the ending we wanted. So let's hope this one does go into a second match, so that maybe, hopefully, we'll get a legit ending. And hey, guys, just put it in the Hell in a Cell and let's keep the club out. That's probably the only way you're going to be able to do it, because even with accidental knockouts or purpose accidental knockouts of the referee, they're going to find a way to get out there and help AJ whether he wants it or not. So let's just move on.
All right, the next fight we got is another one of the triple main events of the evening. It is the Money in the Bank ladder match. 6 men goes into the fight with a briefcase hanging about 20 feet high. The first individual to get the briefcase wins the Money in the Bank. That briefcase is a guaranteed shot at the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and that person can use that opportunity anytime, any place, anywhere, up to 1 full year. The participants of the Money in the Bank ladder match are Sami Zayn, Dean Ambrose, Alberto Del Rio, Kevin Owens, Cesaro, and the man who created the Money in the Bank ladder match, Y2J, Chris Jericho. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Money in the Bank ladder match, Lexi Calloway, this is for you. The Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose. He is Mr. Money in the Bank. Michael Bullock, it is all yours.
All right, I'm gonna say this was the third best fight of the night here. I'm gonna say probably around, like, maybe I'm gonna give it an even 4 stars for what it was. This was a good Money in the Bank ladder match, and yes, I think to save Anthony Florio for a little bit. Yes, he did pick Dean Ambrose to win this one. He got this one right. While I picked Cesaro to win, but you know what? Now I'll eat that slice of humble pie. But yeah, what action we had here, and what about that Michinoku driver that Sami Zayn put on Kevin Owens right on the edge of that ladder there? Oof, that literally has got to hurt there. The ladders were being used all over the place. Yeah, so congratulations to Dean Ambrose. So when does he cash it in? You're going to have to wait and find out. And that's all I'm going to say. Flecha, it's yours.
All right, I have to say, 4 to 4.25 stars. What an amazing match! What an amazing fight! Great Money in the Bank ladder match, no doubt about it. I got nothing bad to say about it. It was a great match. It was a great moment. I'm so happy for Dean Ambrose, man. You have no idea how happy I am. This is one of those guys that, he is the guy that I think a lot of people believe that definitely should be in the mix for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and lo and behold, now he's got the briefcase. We all know what that briefcase meant because out of the remaining times that they've done this, and they've done this 16 times now, 14 times when you're the Money in the Bank, when you're the Money in the Bank holder, you've gone on to win the title. The odds are definitely in your favor. What does that mean for the rest of the night? Well, we're just gonna have to wait and find out. But one thing is for sure, this was amazing. I loved it. I thought this was awesome. A better than expected Money in the Bank ladder match. Um, I was kind of disappointed. I thought there was going to be a seventh person, and unfortunately, there was only just six overall. But it is what it is. There's nothing more to say now. We'll wait and see what happens, but one thing is for sure, we have a Money in the Bank ladder match winner, Dean Ambrose. He is our sixth. He is the 17th Money in the Bank ladder match winner. Now, what happens next? Well, we'll wait and find out. So, like I said, 4 to 4.25 stars is my rating, and well. Dee Woodson, it's up to you.
I gave this one a 4.5. I got so caught up in the match, I kind of forgot to take notes on part of this one, so I guess that tells you how much I enjoyed the match. Lots of action, lots of ladders. Jericho did kind of take a move from Jeff Hardy where he sandwiched one of the guys and just started slamming him with the ladder over and over again. I believe he said in there to, I think it was Ambrose, 69 tacks, 69 hits with the ladder. The ladder match did live up to the hype, and it was just a very, very good match. I really enjoyed it. I can definitely say, I don't know if you guys remember this or not. Fletch and I both said on the Monday Night Raw chat that we both thought Ambrose was going to win this. So I'm definitely glad that we were right on this, and that the best man won the match. I wouldn't have been upset with any of them winning, but I am glad that Ambrose did pull it out in the end. I guess what kind of got me was the fact that they put the ladders inside the other ladder to try to keep it from falling and stabilizing it a little bit through most of the match. So that was kind of an ingenious way of going about it. But with any kind of ladder match, whether it's Money in the Bank or just a regular ladder match, you never know what you're going to get because they've come up with so many different things to do with these ladder matches, so you never know how it's going to go. You never know how they're going to get hurt, and there was a lot of different bumps and bruises that happened through that match, and they, each and every one of them gave it their all, and each and every one of them definitely are going to be coming out with bruises from this match because it's hard to take a fall on a ladder and not get hurt. This would be one of the times where we'd say, don't call wrestling fake, because falling on a ladder, you cannot fake that. You cannot fake the pain that you get landing back first or falling off of the top of a ladder onto another ladder. There's just no way of faking that pain, guys. So, that's one of the pet peeves I know of all of us is, you can't call this stuff fake. Yeah, maybe it may be scripted and stuff, but they really get hurt. They really, they really do have bumps, bruises, hospital visits, broken bones. That's why they say at the beginning of the show, do not try this stuff at home. And, this is definitely one of the matches you would not want to try at home because you would get very hurt if you're not trained properly to take this type of abuse. So, Florio, it's yours.
Very good Money in the Bank ladder match, and hey, I'm glad I wasn't the only one who felt that Dean Ambrose was going to win this fight. I mean, I know Bullock was rooting for his guy Cesaro. I mean, you can't blame him. I mean, Cesaro's been through a lot too, but don't worry, he's going to get his day in court. Believe me, he will. But yeah, I mean, I said it Monday night on the forum after that unbelievable Ambrose Asylum segment with Ambrose, Reigns, and Rollins. I mean, I said, I mean, at that moment, that's when the idea of Dean Ambrose winning this Money in the Bank ladder match seemed very realistic. And for the longest while, it was looking like it was probably going to be Kevin Owens. I know Kevin Owens was deemed as possibly the odds-on favorite, but now that went by the wayside once we had that Ambrose Asylum segment and Ambrose was going on about cashing in, and that's and then that's when the light bulb went off, and I'm like, okay, I'm going with Ambrose now, and he did it. So, and I know somewhere in the great state of Texas, our friend and colleague Alexandra Lexi Calloway feeling a little under the weather, but I know this definitely lifted her spirits in a big way. It's well documented. She is the biggest Dean Ambrose mark out of all of us. But then again, I thought I was the biggest Dean Ambrose mark, during the Shield days. But hey, I was marking just as much as she was, believe me. You remember he came close 2 years ago. 2 years ago, that epic Money in the Bank ladder match in Boston, the night that Seth Rollins won it because of those authority shenanigans. But no authority shenanigans whatsoever here. Third best fight of the night. Yes, I agree with that sentiment. I believe it was 21 minutes and 35 seconds. No, 21 minutes and 45 seconds, correction. 21:45, the time of the fall. Unbelievable. 4.25. Actually, I'm gonna give it a straight up 4.25, maybe teetering on 4.5, but I think 4.25 is the appropriate rating for this Money in the Bank ladder match. Definitely ranks up there as one of the great Money in the Bank ladder matches of all time. It's not the greatest one. To me, still, the greatest Money in the Bank ladder match I ever saw, the one that Daniel Bryan won in 2011. Not because he won it, but because of the body of work of that match. Go back and watch that on the WWE Network, or if you happen to have the Money in the Bank 2011 in your home video archives, which I do, honestly. That, to me, is the only 5-star Money in the Bank ladder match that I ever saw. I mean, with all the bumps and bruises that bout had, and Daniel Bryan winning it, but that's not, like I said, that's not the main reason why I gave it the 5-star and call it the greatest Money in the Bank match I ever saw. But this definitely ranks up there. It's definitely up there, no question about it. I mean, it lived up to the hype. I mean, going into this, I mean, I had a great feeling about it. I mean, these 6 guys, you knew they were going to bust their you-know-whats, and that's exactly what they did. And phenomenal Money in the Bank ladder match. The right guy won, no question about it. Dean Ambrose going over. I mean, would it be the last time we see Ambrose? You never know. I mean, Kane holds the record for shortest cash-in Money in the Bank history. 2010, he wins that Money in the Bank ladder match, the second greatest Money in the Bank ladder match I ever saw, which I thought was another 5-star caliber match. And then about, hour and a half later or so, he cashes in on Rey Mysterio, wins the World Heavyweight Championship. So, and of course, the longest anybody went without cashing in was the Rated R superstar, Edge. Held that contract 280 days before he cashed in on John Cena, New Year's Revolution, 2006, after John Cena got the you-know-what beat out of him in the Elimination Chamber. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that. So, congratulations, Dean Ambrose. Well-deserved. Biggest win of his career when you think of what he's done, United States Heavyweight Champion, Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. Yeah, well done. Fantastic Money in the Bank ladder match. Well done to all 6 guys involved. The spots were sick, as you knew they would be. So, That's it. 4.25 stars. No question about it. The right guy won. I believe, yeah, Bullock already went, I believe. So, so with that being said, Fletch, let's move on to, well, I hate to say it, but a cool down fight, and a much needed one after those two awesome matches.
Yes, indeed. It was a cool down fight. It was for the United States Heavyweight Championship. It was Rusev versus Titus O'Neil, the winner of the bout in about 8 minutes. Though, and still, the United States Heavyweight Champion Rusev. This fight was pretty good. There's really nothing more to say about it. I mean, it was a short fight, only 8 minutes. Rusev got the accolade on Titus O'Neil and made him tap out. And then after the fight, Rusev got on the mic and basically approached the Titus O'Neil's children, calling their father a loser. Then said Happy Father's Day. I mean, oh man, are you kidding me? Monster heat on Rusev, no doubt about it. Um, it's nice to see that he went back to the traditional accolade instead of trying to rip the guy's head off, to say the very least. And the fight was all right. I mean, yeah, it was. I'm gonna say probably the second worst fight of the night, because of the length of the match and just the overall way that the match was going. It kind of was boring in a couple of areas, but like you said, it was a cool down fight. It was necessary. I got nothing bad to say about it. I'll give it about maybe 1.5 stars for the effort. Nothing more to say. So, Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
I gave it 1 star. I was extremely bored with it, so for me, this would have been probably the worst fight of the night because I didn't get into it at all. Probably the only highlight I'd say was that Lana looked like Olivia Newton-John from Grease, the way she was dressed. I was talking with a friend on Twitter, and we thought she should have broke out into one of the songs from Grease just from the way she was dressed. So I'll pass it on. Like I said, for me, it was 1 star.
Oh, I don't know how to follow that. How in the world do I follow that? I mean, I really don't. I mean, it's well documented, the love affair I have with Lana, yes, and Dee Woodson just got those feelings back inside of me again after that. But, wow, yes, I agree. I mean, on everything. I mean, yes, Dee Woodson, you're absolutely right. Lana did indeed look like Olivia Newton-John in her unforgettable role as Sandy in Grease, one of the greatest movie musicals of all time, if not the greatest movie musical of all time. What else is there to say except I got to make a slight adjustment to my scorecard here. This was actually the worst fight of the night. I mean, 1 to 1.5 for the effort. I mean, it was okay for what it was, but it was exactly what I thought it would be. It was a meaningless fight. It was a meh fight. I mean, I'm not at all surprised Rusev went over. I mean, everybody and their mother knew he was going to win it. Roughly 8 minutes. I mean, and Jason Powell's, and this is what Jason Powell said. It's not often I share quotes from him, but this was one that I think was a very interesting one. If we've learned anything from Shane McMahon and Titus O'Neil this year, it's don't bring your sons to ringside for your big matches. And that's exactly what he said before he went into his review of the fight. But those are the words from Jason Powell. So, and I agree. It definitely had the sentiments of when Shane McMahon had his sons with him when he made his entrance for that Hell in a Cell match against The Undertaker at WrestleMania. So, but yeah, 1 to 1.5 stars, snoozer of a fight. But then again, we needed it after those two unbelievable bouts with AJ and Cena and the Money in the Bank. So that's it on that. Worst fight of the night, no question about it. I'm not at all surprised. I knew it would be. So, Bullock, your thoughts on this rather meh United States Heavyweight Championship match?
Yeah, 1 to 1.5 stars is my rating. I do agree. I have to switch up to this being as the worst fight of the night. I mean, we knew it was going to be snooze fest of a fight here. But hey, we needed that cool down period after two really good matches with John Cena and AJ Styles, and of course the Money in the Bank ladder match. So I got really nothing more to say except 1 to 1.5 stars. So that being said, Fletch, let's move on to the last of our triple main events.
The main event of tonight's Money in the Bank for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. The champion, Roman Reigns, versus the challenger, number one contender, and former WWE World Heavyweight Champion, the Architect, Seth Rollins. When it was all said and done, the winner of the bout in 26 minutes and new WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins. Now, wait a minute. Hold on. We're not done yet. Dean Ambrose comes out. Well, his music plays. He basically hits Seth Rollins with the Money in the Bank briefcase. He goes over to Mike Chioda. He cashes in the Money in the Bank. Therefore, we have another match between Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, and this time, this is for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Ambrose hits the dirty deeds. 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, for the second time in Money in the Bank history, it was a two-title change hands. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. 2 title changes in one night. Sin City, welcome to the Sin City heist, because Dean Ambrose, the Lunatic Fringe, is the first member of the entire Shield to have captured the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, the Intercontinental and Tag Team Championship in his career. That's right, ladies and gents. He has pulled the Triple Crown in WWE's history. He is your new WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and somewhere in Texas right now, Lexi Calloway is going absolutely bonkers, and Derek Ferreira went from absolute euphoria to absolute devastation in one foul swoop. But more importantly, the city of Ohio has more than one reason to celebrate. The Cleveland Cavaliers are the NBA World Champions, and Cincinnati, Ohio's own Dean Ambrose is the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Dee Woodson, with everything included, you are about to make history, my dear. The first female to recap a main event on a pay-per-view event for the wrestling form. My dear, it is all yours.
I would definitely say this is probably Lexi's best birthday ever to see Dean Ambrose holding the title. So I'll get started by reading my notes here. As the match was starting, I wrote, can Roman retain? Can Seth reclaim the title? The fans chant, let's go Rollins, Roman Reigns, just kind of like they did with AJ and John Cena. We had some really high-impact moves going on from Rollins, but Roman pretty much, I think, cinched the most of the match because it became the all Roman Reigns show for most of it. He definitely got the better of Seth at the beginning, and I think a little bit of that is because Seth did have a little bit of ring rust at the beginning, but by the time the match ended, you couldn't tell it anymore. Several near falls throughout the whole thing. You could tell the guys were giving it their all. Neither one of them could put the other one down. They fought inside the ring, outside the ring. They were both exhausted throughout the whole thing. I think the biggest scare of the whole thing was when Roman went to spear Seth and ended up hitting the padded wall on the outside, kind of getting his bell rung a little bit. But I think kind of the way the match was going was kind of like Roman as the heel and Seth a little bit more of a baby face through most of the match. But it did end up with Seth winning the match. Roman Reigns did a one-handed power bomb, and if I heard the announcers right, only Bob Backlund was the only other person to do that kind of move that was strong enough to do it. So that was very, very impressive. And I definitely love the fact that as soon as Seth got that win, here came Ambrose, and within 3 seconds, you had a new world title holder. And he said he was going to do it on Monday Night Raw, and Dean Ambrose delivered exactly what he said. And as you can see here, we have a picture of the title with Dean Ambrose symbols on it. So, and my screen share, you can actually see Dean actually holding that title that he won tonight. So congratulations to Dean Ambrose. All of us here in Ohio, yes, we're all on a high between the Cavaliers and Dean winning it. As Kevin said earlier tonight, this was probably one of the better gifts you could have got for Father's Day, to have the Cleveland curse broken tonight and the Ohio boy winning the world title. So there's not much more to say other than for me, I gave it a 4.5 to almost a 5, because I mean it was just an awesome match. I didn't even want to leave the room throughout the whole match. It was just totally an awesome match just to sit here and watch these guys just tear it up and give you everything, and I do mean everything they had, because you could tell they were just literally exhausted, and some of those moves they just had a hard time even getting up after they deliver them. So yeah, it was just a very, very well done match, and hats off to the way WWE ended the show. They actually delivered with a final main event being actually I would say one of the stars of the show, because their 3 main events, I gave them all 3 the same rating. They were all 3 very, very well done, and they definitely delivered with what they said they were going to do. And like I said, hats off to them. This was a very good show. So Florio, it's all yours.
A Shakespearean drama night, and this is one of the many reasons why June 19th, 2016 will forever go down as a Shakespearean drama night. The Cleveland Cavaliers winning the NBA championship in epic fashion in a Game 7 for the ages in Oakland at the Oracle tonight. two incredible main event caliber matches, Cena and AJ, Money in the Bank, they both deliver. I never thought this would be the fight of the night, and that's exactly what it was. This was the fight of the night. 4 3/4 to 5-star classic rating. You have to give this. I mean, 26 minutes, near fall after near fall after near fall, red hot crowd, Rollins winning the belt, and I know Derek Ferreira was, I know for that good few minutes, Derek Ferreira was marking out like a you-know-what, like a crazy man. And then all of a sudden, I'm going to be real honest with you. I saw this cash-in coming from a mile away. I really did. There was a small part of me that thought Ambrose was going to cash it in. And then when you heard that, yeah, when you heard that, I'm like, yep. And then there's Dean Ambrose, and he did this perfectly. He snuck up from behind Seth Rollins, knocks him out with the briefcase, hands it off to senior referee Mike Chioda. Match is official. Rollins looks like he saw a ghost. Seth Rollins was on Rubber Lake Street. Boom, one dirty deeds, and 1, 2, 3 later, the Lunatic Fringe at long last is WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Wow. Oh. Unbelievable. What a shock. I mean, what a surprise. I mean, not one but two title changes, and I think now Dean Ambrose is now the new record holder for shortest Money in the Bank cash-in in the 11-year history of the Money in the Bank. Kane was the previous record holder. He cashed in, I want to say, about an hour and a half or so after he won it, when he cashed in on Rey Mysterio after he had a hard-fought battle with Jack Swagger for the World Heavyweight Championship in Kansas City in 2010. Ambrose's cash in, I want to say, was probably within about 45 to 60 minutes, I want to say, if I'm giving a rough estimate. So I think Dean Ambrose now holds the record for quickest cash in the history of the Money in the Bank concept. Of course, no one's going to touch the 280 days that Edge held the Money in the Bank contract, which was the longest anybody ever went between cash-ins. But, oh man. And when Ambrose won the belt, I'm going to be real honest with you. Just like Lexi Calloway, I was marking out. Because this was my guy in the Shield, to be real honest with you. And Michael Flecha, I hate to be a correction, I hate to be, the grammar police here, if you will, or the correction police here, but Dean Ambrose is a United States and Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. He was never a co-holder of the Tag Team Championships. Yes, the Shield won it, but it was Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins who held the Tag Team Championships, while Dean Ambrose was the United States Heavyweight Champion. Look what's happened in the last 2 years for this man. 2 years ago, in the Money in the Bank, in what goes down as one of the top 5 greatest Money in the Bank ladder matches ever in Boston, he was on the verge of winning the contract, gets screwed by Kane and the Authority shenanigans. Kane literally hands the Money in the Bank briefcase to Seth Rollins 2 years ago. And then, in and out of the main event picture, he was in mid-card, a little bit of some mid-card purgatory for a while. And then, of course, he wins the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship from Kevin Owens, TLC last year. Was in the final 2. He was the runner-up in this year's Royal Rumble match. We almost had this in January. Let's remember that. This almost was the scene in Orlando, Florida, at the Royal Rumble. But it was the game Triple H who put the kibosh on that. And then, being so close so many times, losing that triple threat main event with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar at Fastlane in February in Cleveland. And then, of course, took Triple H to the limits on that surprisingly good Roadblock event in Toronto back in March. Came up just short. He loses a no-holds-barred street fight to Brock Lesnar, which I hate to say disappointed us, which could have been something really special, but unfortunately it was not to be. And then, he gets a couple of nice wins against Chris Jericho at Extreme Rules, and then that crazy Asylum match at Extreme Rules. And now here we are. He debuts in WWE 2012 Survivor Series as a member of the Shield when they took out Ryback in that triple threat with Punk and Cena. And go figure, in a span of 3.5 years, Dean Ambrose goes from relative newcomer to WWE World Heavyweight Champion in just 3.5 years. I am, needless to say, I may not be as, over the top excited as Lexi Calloway is. I mean, I don't want to deny Lexi Calloway her moment. But, because as you all know, when it comes to our version of the Shield, you saw that infamous photo that Bullock, Flecha, and I had, at Fletcher's birthday at the luxury box, at the end of April. Michael Fletcher's the Roman Reigns. Michael Bullock's the Seth Rollins. I'm the Dean Ambrose, and it's like I just had my moment here tonight. So I always knew it was never a matter of if Dean Ambrose was going to be World Heavyweight Champion. I knew he was going to be. I just never thought in my wildest dreams it would be this quick. Congratulations, Dean Ambrose. Well-deserved World Heavyweight Championship. And gentlemen and lady, there's nothing left for me to say except SummerSlam in August. I don't know what they're going to do at Battleground, but I got this feeling in the pit of my stomach that at SummerSlam, we're going to get that long-awaited and long-anticipated Shield triple threat match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns. Let's tear the roof off of the Barclays on that hot summer night. What a way to cap off not only a great Father's Day, but also to cap off, as our own executive producer and hardcore pipe bomb Derek Ferrer so eloquently put it, a night of Shakespearean drama, a Shakespearean drama night. We got it and then some here tonight. June 19th, 2016 will forever be a night. Will forever go down as the greatest night of Shakespearean drama we have ever seen in our entire lives. And a night that we will talk about for years and years and years to come. Fight of the night, 4 3/4 to 5 stars. Phenom Michael Bullock. I got to ask the question, how in the world do you follow that? My gosh.
I don't know how the heck can you follow that, but all I can say is, like you said, and I'll agree, 4 3/4 to a 5-star classic fight of the night without a shadow of a doubt, and basically, we all thought that Seth Rollins had regained the title, but as soon as you heard that Dean Ambrose's music hit, you knew that something was going to go down. Dean Ambrose shows up out of nowhere, hits it with the briefcase, and he says, "You know what? I'm cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase." And then he says, "You know what? I'm gonna hit the dirty deeds," and then he hits it, and yes, we have a new WWE World Heavyweight Champion on the same night. And this time, Dean Ambrose is the one who wins it. So congratulations to Dean Ambrose, the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. So there's really nothing more to say except, Fletch, I give it to you.
And what is there to say? History has been made in Las Vegas, Nevada. We have a new WWE World Heavyweight Champion 2 times over. First, Seth Rollins realizes his dream and becomes a 2-time champion, only to get it snatched out of his hands in less than 15 seconds, maybe 20 seconds later, when Dean Ambrose cashes in the Money in the Bank and wins the title. Unbelievable. 4 3/4 of a star to 5 stars tonight. There's really nothing more to say, guys. I mean, it is gonna be. It's a night to remember. It is an event to remember, and we will never forget June 19th, 2016, the night the inmate is now running the WWE. The Ambrose Asylum has now the possession of the most richest prize in the industry. May God have mercy on the soul of the WWE. It's like JBL says, it's the worst nightmare coming true. The lunatic is now the man. With that said, let's do our overall review. So we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to go Anthony first, Didi Woodson second, Michael Bullock third, and then I will finish it with the future content, and we'll sign off from there. Florio, you lead off.
And when you do that future content, Michael Flecha, I'm sure you saw it earlier, the Strictly Sports. So I'm sure you saw what's on the docket for Friday night.
Yes, I did.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to be sure. So don't forget to mention that when you hit us with that future content at the end. But nonetheless, I mean, honest to goodness, going into this event, I initially thought between 7 and 7.5 when it came to this event. But after everything that went down tonight, mainly based on the body of work of the triple main event and a couple of other matches that actually far surpassed my expectation, it's needless to say that this is not a 7 to 7.5 out of 10 for me. To me, this is between 8.5 and 9 out of 10. I mean, phenomenal Money in the Bank pay-per-view. It's definitely going up there as one of our pay-per-views of the year, hands down, absolutely. The World Heavyweight Championship, the main event, Reigns and Rollins, lived up to the hype and then some. We were waiting 2 years for this. We finally get it, and boy, howdy did it deliver. It delivered and then some. 4 3/4 to 5 stars, and then the cash-in of Ambrose, and Ambrose winning the belt. I mean, what a way to send that crowd home in Vegas happy. I mean, it was almost like they gambled and they won, and yeah, no question about that. So, and then from there, you also had the second best fight of the night, John Cena and AJ Styles, despite the club appearance, 4.5 stars there. And then the Money in the Bank ladder match rounds out the top 3 as 4.25 stars there. And then the Tag Team Championship, 4-way, 3 to 3.25. And then a surprisingly good match with Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler, 2.5 stars there. The Divas actually put on a solid effort, 2 to 2.25. And then you had Apollo Crews and Sheamus, 1.5 to 2. And then the worst fight of the night, obviously, Rusev and Titus O'Neil for the United States Heavyweight Championship, 1 to 1.5 on that. So that equals a good 8.5 to 9 out of 10. No question about that. Phenomenal Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Well done, WWE. This is one of those rare nights where you actually hit it out of the park tonight. And this coupled with what happened in Game 7 of the NBA Finals tonight, with the Cleveland Cavaliers defeating the Golden State Warriors and winning their first ever NBA championship and ending the 52-year drought for the city of Cleveland as the first pro sports team in Cleveland to bring home a championship. Derek Ferrera, like I said, he said it best. This was going to be a Shakespearean drama night, and damn it to hell, it was that and then some. what else is there to say? And like I said before, I'll say it one more time before I throw it to Dee Woodson. June 19th, 2016 will not only forever go down as the greatest night of Shakespearean drama of all time, but it will also go down as a night that will be talked about for years and years and years to come. Oh, by the way, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. What a night. Dee Woodson, Twisted Angel, it's all yours, darling.
I agree with the rating wholeheartedly. This was definitely one of the better pay-per-views. Didn't have a lot of bad to say about it. You know, it definitely lived up to the reputation that they gave it, and I definitely say, you know, if you didn't see it, you know, rewatch it, or if you did and you want to rewatch it, you know, watch it on WWE Network. If you don't have WWE Network, you know, order it on pay-per-view. I'm sure they're going to re-show it a couple of times. So, hey, it's something to that y'all need to watch. You know, look up on YouTube, find some of the matches, because these matches, they're phenomenal, and I know they're going to hype up on it tomorrow night on Raw, and, you know, well deserved as they should. And, you know, like I said earlier, it was a nice birthday present for Lexi. You know, now that it's the 20th, today's her birthday. Today was also would have been my parents' anniversary, so, you know, this is kind of a emotional day for me anyway. But, you know, our hopes are all high here in Cleveland. We've got our champions for the first time in years. We've got, on both ends, we've got it NBA, WWE. What more can we say? We know the Browns will never bring it home. We hope the Indians would, but it took the Cavaliers to do it. So I'm going to toss it up to Bullock.
Yeah, I agree. 8.5 to 9 out of 10 is my rating for this Money in the Bank pay-per-view / WWE Network special. I mean, the triple main events certainly did not disappoint. Fight of the night, like you says, the WWE World Heavyweight Title match between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Second best fight of the night, John Cena and AJ Styles. The third best fight of the night was the Money in the Bank ladder match. Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler was definitely was the surprise fight of the night here. So yeah, and everything else was either okay to pretty much meh. So yeah, so great job WWE. So now it's basically on to Battleground. So that being said, Flecha, take us home and with your overall thoughts and setup for the future content.
8.5 is my rating for this event. This was an amazing pay-per-view. I don't think none of us thought going in that this was going to be good. We thought it was going to be solid. I don't think none of us thought it was going to be this good, this amazing, and it did. It delivered in so many factors, and there was nothing bad about this show at all. All the matches were amazing except for maybe one or two fights, but other than that, this was a night to remember, a solid performance by WWE, and to counter with the NBA Finals Game 7, man alive, this was a great night of television, a great night of sports all the way around, and WWE, you deserve to be commended because you nailed it. Vegas, you know, this was an amazing event as always, and you guys were great hosts. T Mobile Arena, you just opened very recently. You're going down in history to have one of the best pay-per-view events of the year, maybe a candidate for pay-per-view of the year as well. So at least a candidate for it. All right, guys. So we're gonna put a bow on this. So here's the future content. Tomorrow night is indeed the Wrestling Forum. It starts at 11 p.m. Eastern with Anthony Florio and the crew, as we will be on the Tone 25, and we'll recap Monday Night Raw, the fallout from Money in the Bank. Of course, Anthony will have his Tony's take on TNA and Thursday Night SmackDown, the Mikey's Mindset, as we'll have news from Ring of Honor, and we also have news from Lucha Underground. Unfortunately, no news from RWA this time around. And then, of course, Friday night is another edition of Strictly Sports, and we have the docket. It's going to be an all NBA night. That's right, we're going to be talking about the NBA Finals. The Cleveland Cavaliers are the world champions. We will talk about how they did it and our opinions about how great was the finals. And then we will go a team by team breakdown of the NBA draft. The NBA draft is this week. As a matter of fact, Thursday night from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. And then we will give you our thoughts on the draft, grading as well. So no power rankings this week, folks. So until then, for Anthony Florio, for Dee Woodson, for Michael Bullock, I am Michael Flecha. We say good night. You've been watching a special edition of the Wrestling Forum, the recap of Money in the Bank, exclusively on YouTube.com. Have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.